Okay, well, of you, how are you? How's the time is going? Today I come with biology entrance exam questions for grade 12 of Ethiopian secondary school living certificate exam of 2016 or 2024 with answer and brief explanations for all 100 questions one by one. So don't forget, like, subscribe Alisan's YouTube channel. When you like and subscribe what I post or what I release on this YouTube channel, it is so come address you. So don't forget, like and subscribe and also share to your friend and your family. So let us start our today's tutorial biology entrance exam with their answer. Question number one. A transgenic organism is an organism that, so the answer should be C, has received genetic material of another organisms. So let us see explanation. A transgenic organism is an organism that has received genetic material from other organisms through genetic engineering techniques. These transgenic organisms play crucial role in various fields including agriculture, medicine, and biotechnology. Question number two. Which of the following explain how biology takes part in biosensory technology using microorganisms too? So the answer should be B, monitor pollutants. Means biosensors are being developed to measure specific components in beer, to monitor pollutant and to detect flavor compound in the food. It is so possible to measure concentration of substance from many different environments, and also it is crucial in monitoring pollutant, environmental monitoring, and also remediations. Question number three. In a textile industry, microorganisms commercial product play a significant role in removing strain like grease by changing large insoluble the answer should be D, a large insoluble stain molecule in small and soluble ions. So that should be D. Means that in this process they involve the action of enzymes produced by microorganisms which break down complex stains molecule into simpler form. Complex and simpler form, which is easily removed. Question number four. Which one of the following statement is correct about application of biopesticide in agriculture? So the answer should be B. It uses bacteria and fungi or their metabolites to kill insects. When we see explanation, the application of biopesticide in agriculture is that it is used bacteria and fungi or their metabolites to kill insects. This is what is so important biological agents in agriculture. Question number five. Which one of the following statement is correctly describe bacteria? They are, so the answer should be A single-celled prokaryotic organisms. The answer should be A. With that explanation, bacteria are single-celled prokaryotic organisms or unicellular microorganisms that lack membrane-bound nucleus and other organelle found in eukaryotic cell. So they are belong to domain Monera that exhibit or bacteria the exhibit prokaryotic cellular organization. Question number six. Gene flow is the movement of genetic material. The answer should be D, where organisms either join or leave population. So that should be D. Gene flow, also called migration, is any movement of individuals or genetic materials they carry from one population to another. Mean that when organisms join or leaving population, it contributes to gene flow. The answer is not the answer. The answer should be D. Question number 7. Which of the following option is consists of peripheral nervous system? So that should be C, afferent nervous, and the somatic motor nervous. When we say explanation, the consists of peripheral nervous system are afferent nervous, and also somatic motor nervous. Afferent nerves are responsible for carrying information from the body to central nervous system, where afferent nerves are transmit motor signals from central nervous system to the effector organ like muscles and glands, whereas somatic motor nerves are specifically control voluntary movement of skeletal muscles. Question number 8. Which one of the following structure of neurons is correctly paired with their function? So the correct that is paired is should be A. Cell body maintains structure and supply of energy. When we see one by one, cell body maintains structure and the supply of energy. Axon transmits signal away from the cell body. Dendrites receive signal from other neurons when the myelin sheath is insulated and increases speed of nervous impulse of transmission. So that should perfectly A. Question number 9. Which one of the following statement explain how nerve impulse is occurred? It occur as a result of, so that should be B, the charge difference across the membrane of axon. When we say explanation, the nerve impulse occur due to the charge difference across the membrane of axon, specifically through the process of depolarization and action potential. This wave, a positive charge inside axon when neuron is stimulated, is known as action potential. This mechanism also allows for transmission of signals within the nervous system. Question number 10. Which one of the following statement is an acceptable justification of importance of synapse? Synapse is, answer should be C, a connection between appendage of constituted neurons. So synapse is a connection between appendage of constitutive neurons. This synapse is a junction between two neurons where electrical or chemical signals are transmitted. So means that the role of synapse in the connecting axon terminal of the neuron to be to the dendrite and other neurons. Question number 11. Which one of the following statement explain how allosteric inhibition affect enzyme activity by binding to the, so that should be A, the site other than active site and altering the shape of active site? Means that the allosteric inhibitors affect enzyme activity is binding to the site other than the active site and altering the shape of active sites. These allosteric inhibitors are also bind allosteric site, means the induced conformational change in the enzyme structure, ultimately altering the shape of active site. And also allosteric regulatory plays crucial role in controlling enzyme activity and also metabolic pathway within the cell. Example, we can look feedback inhibitions, type of allosteric regulations that cell regulate in metabolic pathway. Question number 12. Why are enzymes considered special molecule in metabolism? Because the answer should be A. Enzyme facilitate metabolic reaction under controlled physiological condition. Enzymes are considered especially molecules that is in metabolism due to the ability to facilitate metabolic reaction under controlled condition. Question number 13. Which of the following is the most advanced and recent event in history of cell biology? So the answer should be D, sequence of human genome. When we look, each discovery with their discovery of the year, the discovery of double helix, DNA double helix is 1953, and the invention of various scanning electron microscope in 1938. The description of Golgi apparatus in 1898. The sequence of human genome is 2003, which is the most recent one. Question number 14. Which of the following properties permits insects to freely work on the water? It is high. The answer will be D, surface tension makes them. When we see explanation, the property that permit insects to freely work on water is surface tension. Surface tension is the equilibrium between molecules at the surface of liquid that creates sort of a skin on the water surface. Means these properties allow a small and lightweight insect can water striders can distribute over the can work on the water without sticking to it. And also there are other additives for latent heat evaporation and the specific that just read them. Question number 15. A student focused a slide of an onion epidermal cell on pre-estimated width of 2 mm field of a view under microscope. What will be the width of each individual cell if you count 8 cells that fit the field of view during the observation? So that should be D, 0.25 millimeter. So to determine the width of each individual cell, we can calculate, we can divide total width of the field to view by the number of cells that is observed. Means that we will calculate the total width of the field is 2 millimeter. When we divide to 8 cells, we can get 0.25 millimeter. Question number 16. Which one of the following statement is correct about the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell? Prokaryotic cell have, so the answer should be A, small ribosome, whereas eukaryotic cell have large ribosomes. Means that prokaryotic cell like membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, which is present in eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell have also small ribosomes, whereas eukaryotic cell have large ribosomes. And also when we look, prokaryotic cell lack division of library, whereas eukaryotic cell have it. These are all what their difference, so that should be A. Question number 17. Which biological tool is correctly matched with its function? So the correctly matched one is B, Petri dish to culture microorganisms. When we say explanation, burette to measure the volume of liquid in analytical chemistry, Petri dish is to culture microorganisms, that is what is correct. Centrifuge to separate component of liquid by spanning at high speed, when theodolite to measure angles in horizontal and vertical during surveying. So the answer should be B, the correct one. Question number 18. A student centrifuge a solution containing plant material in order to separate them on their mass. After 10 minutes, at centrifugations, some of the components move to the bottom, A. Other come to the middle layer, B, and the remaining ones is at the top layer, C. Which alternative shows the mass of component in decreasing order? So with the highest one is so actually be B. When we infer that the heaviest component will settle down at the bottom, which is followed by the middle layer B, and finally the lightest component will be at the top layer C. Therefore, the correct mass is to be A is greater than B, B is greater than C. It is decreasing as that follow. Question number 19. Which of the following statements shows the future promised biological science? The future promised biological science should be A. Using stem cell to repair damaged organ and grow new organs. So that should be A. So the statement that is best represents future of promised biological science is the using stem cell to repair damaged organ and grow new ones. Means these stem cells are in the field of research that suggests a significant advance in medical science and also regenerative medicine so that help treating various disease and injuries. Question number 20. Which of the following alternative contains only organic molecules? So answer should be C, methane, glycine, linoleic acid, and glucose. Organic molecules are molecules that contain carbon hydrogen bond, often with elements like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus. So methane, glucose, glycine, and linoleic acid are organic molecules consisting carbon and hydrogen atoms. Whereas the choice A, D contains calcium carbonate, and the B is contains carbon dioxide, that is an inorganic compound. Question number 21. During oxidative phosphorylation, ATP is produced by combining ADP and inorganic phosphate using energy released from, so that will be D, transfer of electrons from NADH or FADH2 to oxygen. So during oxidative phosphorylation, ATP produced combining ADP and inorganic phosphate using energy released from transfer of electron from the NADH and FADH2 to oxygen. Means that oxidation is NADH and FADH2 are oxidized and releasing electrons, and electron transport chain up that electron passing through series of protein complex in inner mitochondrial membrane called electron transport chain, releasing energy. Then chemosmosis, the process of energy pumps hydrogen ions, which is called protons, and hydrogen ions into the membrane space that creating hydrogen gradient. At the end, ATP synthesis that proton are re-enter mitochondrial matrix through transmembrane ATP synthesis complex, which is combines ADP with inorganic phosphate to make ATP. Question number 22. Which of the following comparisons between substrate level and oxidative phosphorylation is correct? During substrate level phosphorylation, so that will be A, ATP is made in cytosol and the matrix, but oxidative phosphorylation is made of inner membrane of mitochondria. So the correct one is A. Substrate phosphorylation occur in cytosol and the matrix, which is 4 ATP molecule can be produced per glucose molecule and proton pumped into the cytosol, and whereas oxidative phosphorylation takes place in inner membrane of mitochondria, generating 34 ATP molecule per glucose molecule through electron transport chain and chemosmosis, and pumping proton to the inner membrane space with oxygen acting as final electron acceptor. Question number 23. Which one of the following disease and their mode of transmission is correctly matched? So the answer should be B, salmonella, that can be contaminated food. We can look, candidiasis is the direct contact. It is fungal infection. It can be transmitted direct contact with infected person or contaminated items. Salmonella is what is contaminated food, what is bacterial infection. Chickenpox can be through droplet infection or direct contact. It is a viral infection. Common cold is a viral infection that is transmitted by droplet infection or direct contact. Question number 24. Which of the following determines the cause and effect of lactate production during physical exercise? The demand for, so that should be B, a substrate that can easily release energy lead to production of lactate which result in muscle fatigue. The demand of substrate level can easily release energy plays a significant role in determining cause and effect of lactate production during physical exercise, which result in muscle fatigue. Question number 25. The view of biological origin of life hypothesized that the first life forms appeared in a warm, primitive ocean and were heterotrophic. Which one of the following statements can support this idea? So the answer to be C. The formation of abundant organic molecules due to radiation and the absence of oxygen lead to primitive living organisms. So this we can also look about the how life originated theories, the theories that seek to explain life origin that include eternity life come from life has no beginning. Cosmology theory life come from the organic molecules needed in the origin of life through a meteorite or comet. Special creation that says supreme being creates life. Biochemical theory is believes that life is result of biochemical reaction, which is formation of abundant molecules that due to radiation and also actually lead to primitive living. Organisms when spent in a generation says life comes from non-living matter. Question number 26. Which statement shows the correct comparison between Lamarck and Darwin's theory of evolution? So that should be D. Darwin claims that variation is heritable while Lamarck considered variation as acquired traits. So we can briefly write an explanation. Lamarck recognized the origin of species was through mutation while Darwin's was through effect of the environment. Darwin also believed that development of new trees is due to variation, while Lamarck believed that occurrence of the life due to use and the use of organs. And also Darwin believed that the gradual occurrence of the change, while that Lamarck believed immediate change of species. And also Darwin claimed that variation is heritable, while Lamarck is considered variation as acquired traits. Question number 27. Identify the correct mechanism of bacterial reproduction by conjugation. So the answer should be D. Conjugation by bacteria is a pair of bacteria come together and exchange their plasmid. So during conjugation, pair of bacteria come together and physically exchange their plasmid. This transfer occurs through a structure called pillars, which connects to cell and allows the direct transfer of genetic material. This process enables bacteria to share beneficial traits like such as antibiotic resistance and also metabolic capability, enhancing their survival and adaptability. Question number 28. Which of the one of the following features note characteristics of fungi? They are either heterotrophic or parasitic or saprophatic. So that should be C, which is not their feature. Means that the feature that fundamental to the biology and the life cycle of fungi, they are reproduced asexually by spore production, and they have haploid nucleus and multinucleate hyphae, and also exhibit apical growth of network of hyphae. But the feature that denotes their characteristics is they cannot be autotrophic or producers. So that will be C. Question number 29. What is the argument behind the need of appropriate host cell for virus to replicate themselves? Because the virus, so the answer will be C, lack metabolic capacity to produce energy outside the cell. Virus possess cell surface antigens that can specifically to particular cell cell types, allowing them to recognize and bind to the specific cell for attachment and entry. And also the virus are also obligate intracellular parasite, not saprophyte. The virus like metabolic capacity to generate the energy outside the host cell. This accurate, and this makes the virus do not have necessary cellular machinery for metabolism, so they depend on or rely on the host cell for independent replication. Question number 30. What is the basic difference between anabolism and catabolism? So the answer should be C. Anabolism is energy absorbing while catabolism is energy releasing. Means that anabolism is condensation while catabolism is hydrolysis reaction. Catabolism is respiration and anabolism is to photosynthesis. Anabolism is energy absorbing while catabolism is energy releasing, and also anabolism is constructive and catabolism is destructive reaction. These are all. Question number 31. What is the main function of dermis of the skin? So the answer should be D. Temperature regulation in homeostasis. The main function of dermis of the skin is to regulate temperature in the homeostasis. Means that the layer of skin that is crucial for maintaining body internal temperature with the narrow range despite external environment changes. So the dermis contains blood vessels that help to regulate heat exchange between the body and the environment. Question number 32. This item is based on the following diagrams. Diagram about eye structure. The part of eye that is represented by Y is, so the answer should be A, iris. You can look at explanation. The Y represents ears, when is the X represents optic nerves. Question number 33. A man observed elementary school students spinning around and realizing that none of them could properly walk upright after sudden interruptions of the spinning. Which one of the following is the correct reason for this condition? So the answer should be C. The fluid in semicircular canal kept moving after spinning was interrupted. The reason why elementary school students experienced difficulty walking upright after spinning was interrupted is due to the fluid of semicircular canals kept moving after spinning was interrupted, this causing temporary disruption in balance and coordination. Question number 34. Which of the following is correct description of hormones? They are chemical messengers that regulate many, so the answer should be A. They regulate many physiological processes. Means that hormones are chemical messengers that regulate many physiological processes in the body. They are produced by endocrine glands which do not have ducts and are released directly to the bloodstream to reach target tissue or organs throughout the body. Unlike nerve impulse that transmit messages fast but more specifically, hormones act more broadly and have slower but longer lasting effect on the body's function. We can look example insulin hormone. Question number 34. Homeostasis is a mechanism of keeping internal body constant. So that should be B. Homeostasis is a mechanism that keeping internal body constant environment constant. This means that body regulates its temperature, pH levels, body blood sugar, and other key parameters within the narrow range to proper functioning of the cell and organs. Question number 36. Which of the following is true concerning evidence of evolution? So the answer should be, the correct one is C. Species that are closely related share most similar DNA sequence. The statement that species that is closely related share most DNA, similar DNA sequence accurately reflects the role of genetic relationship in providing evidence of evolution. DNA sequences is sequencing has revolutionized our understanding of evolutionary process and also continues to be powerful to the unrevealed complexity of life diversity. Question number 37. In a fox population, fox with thinner fur survived better in cold climate compared to those that is thinner fur. However, foxes with thinner fur survived in better that of climate was very hot. What type of natural selection is described in this scenario? So the answer will be D, directional selection. Let us see one by one. There are three natural selection types that include directional selection, stabilizing, and disruption. As we know, disruption means when both extremes have advantage. When both extremes have advantage, so it is known as disruptions. And all stabilization is when the mid or the average one is advantage. It is known as stabilizing. When it's directional means when one side or one extreme have become advantage. What we now on this question, so the answer should be D. Question number 38. The type of gene mutation that result in change of triplets GAG in a normal hemoglobin to another triplet GTG in sickle cell hemoglobin is. So the answer will be C, substitution. Means that substitution is a mutation that exchange one base for another. Example, sickle cell anemia is a disease caused by a single base substitution mutation. Means that when A is replaced by T, means that glutamine is changed to valicin, so it causes sickle cell anemia. The other is insertion, also deletion, and non-disjunction or disjunction, also given with the example. Read them. The other is question number 39. In human evolution, brain size increased over the course of evolution. Which alternative contains hominids arranged in increasing order of the brain size? So the answer should be D, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, and Homo sapiens. When we look, explanation hominid arranged in increasing order of the brain size is Homo habilis, erectus, neanderthalensis, and or Homo sapiens. Okay, read one by one. What does it mean? Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, and also Homo sapiens. Question number 40. Which of the following statements correctly explain genetic drift? It is a change in allele frequency due to a chance-based sampling error. So the answer will be C. Genetic drift refers to the change in allele frequency with a population that occurs due to random chance events. So genetic drift occurs when certain alleles become more or less prevalent population simply by chance rather than result of natural selection. Question number 41. Which one of the following process occurs during light independent phase of the photosynthesis? So the answer should be D, reduction of Strauss molecules by hydrogen from NADPH. During light independent phase or Calvin cycle, the reduction of triose molecule by hydrogen from NADPH is the force that occurs during light independent phase of the photosynthesis that is playing key role in carbon fixation and the carbohydrate synthesis. Question number 42. As compared to non-cyclic phosphorylation, cyclic phosphorylation is used, so that should be B, photosystem first as last electron acceptor. Non-cyclic phosphorylation involves both photosystem first and photosystem second, and while Cyclic phosphorylation exclusively utilize only photosystem forest. Additionally, non-cyclic result in the production of ATP, NADPH, and oxygen through transfer of electron from water to NADP plus, while cyclic phosphorylation generates only ATP. Question number 43. Which one of the following chemical reactions summarizes the process of photosynthesis? So that should be D. Carbon dioxide plus water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. It gives glucose plus oxygen plus water. The correct chemical reaction summarizes photosynthesis is that carbon dioxide plus water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it gives glucose plus oxygen and water. Question number 44. Which one of the following statement properly describe the structure of ATP? It is made up of, the answer should be B. One adenine base attached to the pentose sugar or ribose sugar and 3-phosphate group. ATP is a single nucleotide made up of pentose sugar, ribose, and nitrogenous base plus 3-phosphate group. It means that the structure of ATP is have one adenosine base attached to pentose sugar or ribose sugar and 3-phosphate group. This configuration enables ATP serves as fundamental energy currency for the cellular activity, highlights the biochemical reactions and the metabolic pathway. Question number 45. Which one of the following description about glycolysis is correct? It is a process. So the answer will be C. Process of break down glucose molecule to two pyruvate molecules. So the answer will be C. Glycolysis is indeed a metabolic pathway that involves breakdown of glucose or 6 carbon molecule split into 2 pyruvates or 3 carbon molecule during sequence of enzyme control reaction. Glycolysis also occurs in cytosol of the cell in anaerobic condition, and also its process of it profits 2 ATP was produced. Question number 46. Which one of the following is the main function of bone capsule of the human kidney? So the answer will be C. Ultrafiltration of the blood. We can look bone capsule or glomerulus primarily function in ultrafiltration of the blood, contributing to overall process of urine formation and waste elimination from the body, and serving as key step in complex process of kidney function. This makes our whole body healthy. Question is this question is also contains so many can be under each question. So look from this picture. Question number 47. What is justification for feeling warm while sweating a lot in a very humid condition? So the answer will be B. A lower temperature evaporation of water from the skin surface. Feeling warm while sweating heavily in a very humid condition is primarily attributed to the lower rate of evaporation of water from the skin surface. The lower rate of evaporation of the water from the skin surface due to what? High humidity is likely to main reason what? For feeling warm while sweating heavily in such condition. This reduced evaporation hinders the body ability to cool down and effectively lead to perceptions of the increasing warmth despite increasing perspirations. Question number 48. Among the following statements, one briefly describes the concept of climate change. It is so that it will be D. Global change in temperature, precipitation, and wind condition. Climate change refers to the long-term alteration in the Earth's climate system, including shift of average of temperature, precipitation pattern, and atmospheric condition on global scale. These changes are primarily driven by human activity such as burning fuels, fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial processes that release greenhouse gas into the atmosphere. Question number 49. As a result of human activity, a huge amount of carbon dioxide has been accumulated in the atmosphere. What is the consequence of this phenomenon? So the answer will be B. A drop in temperature of the earth and the death of aquatic organisms. The concept of accumulation of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere primarily preventing certain amount of heat from escaping to the space. This due to gas effect that carbon dioxide other gases are also the atmosphere lead to global warming. As a result, climate change, extreme weather, also melting ice escape sea levels and the disruption of the photosynthesis. So the answer should be C. Question number 50. What the main objective of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change? So the answer should be A. Prevention of dangerous man-made interference with the climate system. The main objective of the UNICEF, NFCC is prevention of dangerous man-made interference with the climate system. This means that primary focus of this United Nations Framework Convention climate change is to mitigate and adapt to the climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting suitable practice to protect environment and human well-being. So the answer should be perfectly A. Question number 51. The ability of carnivores to survive in ecosystem is dependent on the ability of prey. This can be considered as, so that it will be D, biotic factor. Biotic factors are living component of an ecosystem, including organisms such as prey as directly impact the survival and success of carnivores. Carnivores rely on the availability of the prey food for food, which ultimately determines the ability to survive within the ecosystem. Question number 52. This item is based on the following pyramid of biomass. Which alternative contains organisms can occupy above pyramid of the biomass from the bottom to the top? So the answer should be A. Grass, cricket, lizard, and chicken. We can look grass, cricket, lizard, and chicken from bottom to the top. In this case, we need to consider the transfer of energy and biomass from the trophic level to another. The bottom primarily consists primary producers such as plant or grasses. This, the primary consumer should be insects or cricket, which is followed by secondary consumer lizard, and finally tertiary consumer like chickens. Question number 53. The two reverse processes that play significant role in absorbing and releasing carbon dioxide respectively are, so the answer should be D, photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis helps in absorbing carbon dioxide, while respiration releases carbon dioxide, making them two reverse processes that play a significant role in carbon cycle. Also read about photosynthesis and respiration briefly written under this. Question number 54. Which of the following adaptation is important for survival of polar bear in every cold environment? So having the answer will be B, blabbers under the skin. The adaptation that is essential for survival for polar bears is very cold environment is having blabbers under the skin. Blabbers, this serves as what? Thick layer of the fat beneath the skin or bear skin, providing insulation and help to retain body heat and fridge condition in the fridge condition. This insulation is crucial for maintaining bear's body temperature and enabling them to withstand with extreme cold of its habitat. Question number 55. Assume your friend has a blood type, has no antigen on his red blood cells, but produce antibody A and B. Loses blood due to car accident. If the transfusion is necessary to save his life, your friend can receive blood from a person who have blood type O. So that should be C. Based on AB blood group system, uh, individual with blood blood A have antigen A and produce antibody B. Blood type B have B antigens and produce antibody A. Blood type AB have both AB antigens but have no antibody, and blood type O have neither A or B antigens but produce antibody against A and B. So your your friend can receive from person who have blood type O, which which is a universal donors, which like A and B antigens. Question number 56. A student concludes that a type of mouse is on a prepared slide of plant tissue. He observed it was Anaphase 2. What do you think was the reason to come to his conclusions? So the observation of the answer should be B. Divide centromere and separate sister chromatid. Based on the feature of anaphase forest, the student may look for specific indicators on the slide. A student observing the stage of anaphase 2 was likely to due to the presence of divided centromere and separate sister chromatid, which are likely, which is a key feature of this stage of meiosis. Question number 57. The binomial system of naming developed by Linnaeus comprises two names. Which hierarchical group are used? So the answer will be C, genus and species. The binomial system of naming developed by Linnaeus uses the hierarchical group of genus and species to classify living organisms. This provides structured and organized way of naming and categorizing species in natural world. Question number 58. Which of the following is a feature of kingdom Monera? Its members are, so the answer should be B, unicellular without separate nucleus. The key feature of kingdom Monera is that its membrane are what? Its members are what? Unicellular without separate nucleus. This characteristics distinguish Monera from other kingdom based on what? The simple cellular structures lacking membrane-bound organelles like nucleus. Question number 59. Which alternative given below is considered comprised a harmful group of kingdom of Monera, Protista, and fungi, respectively? So that should be C. Haemophilus dyspharia, Trypanosoma, and Tinea are the Monera, Protista, and fungi kingdom, respectively. We can look the A only contains irrespectively contains them, but C correctly represents respectively kingdom Monera, Protista, and fungi harmful group. Question number 60. Which one of the following is a feature of octopi and squid in phylum Mollusca? They have well developed brain, so that should be A. The feature of octopi and squid in phylum Mollusca is that they have well-developed brain. These characteristics set them apart from other organisms within this phylum. Octopi and squids are known as high level of intelligence and complex behaviors, such as which are supported by well-developed brain. Question number 61. Which of the following research activity has been conducted at Armor Hansen's Research Institute? So the answer will be D. Developing drugs for leishmaniasis and tuberculosis. The Armor Hansen's Research Institute is renowned for his work in researching and developing treatment for infectious diseases such as leishmaniasis and tuberculosis. These diseases are significant public health concern globally, particularly in regions which is limited access to health care resources. Question number 62. Which of the following alternative contains only protein-rich cereals? So the answer should be A. White kidney peas, red kidney peas, and chickpea. So the answer should be A. Protein-rich cereals, when we look there in percentage of protein content, the all, in addition, A contains about 65% in all when we add them, so the perfectly A. Question number 63. Which of the following statements is correct about process of digestion in the stomach? So the answer should be that which is happening in stomach is B. Pepsin hydrolyzed protein molecules into the stomach, into the amino acid in the stomach, so that should be B. The role of enzymes that break down molecules in digestion, protein is digest protein into amino acid in the stomach, lipids the hydrolyze fat into fatty acid, and glycerol in small intestine. Amylase also hydrolyzes starch in to maltose in mouth and small intestine. Bile also hydrolyzes bigger fat molecules into smaller droplets in small intestine, which is happening in the stomach only Pepsi 1, so that should be perfectly B. Question number 64. Which of the following statement is correct about the role of trypsin in digestion? It acts on, so the answer should be D. Protein in small intestine. Trypsin primarily function in digestion of proteins in a small intestine, breakdown into peptides and amino acid for absorption. Question number 65. Which of the following description about absorption of nutrient in RAM digestive system is correct? So the answer will be D. Fatty acid molecule are absorbed from small intestine directly into the blood. When we look fatty acid, also fatty acid molecules are absorbed from the small intestine directly into the blood. Amino acid molecules are certainly absorbed from the small intestine into the blood, but in this process it does not occur directly. Amino acid first absorbed into what? Small intestinal cells, then bloodstream. Glycerol also molecule absorbed into the lymphatic system via later cells, not into the hepatic portal vein first. Glucose also makes primarily absorbed into the blood through the capillary of the small intestine, not into lactates. Lactase. Question number 66. Which of the following statements is true about female genital malnutrition? So it is. So the answer will be C. It imposes risk of infection. Question answer should be C. Female genital malnutrition is it is that it imposes a risk of infections. Female genital malnutrition, also known as female circumcisions or cutting, involves the partial or total removal of external female genital for non-medical reasons. This harmful practice can lead various healthy complications, including infections, urinary problems, and even death in some cases. Question number 67. Assume that you have a friend who is HIV positive and you are familiar about the case. How can you support your friend if she is injured and she needs help? So the answer will be B. Help your friend with precision. So that should be C. B. Uh, Supporting a friend who is HIV positive with injured requires with compassion or empathy, understanding or knowledge, and taking necessary precautions or protection. Remember, the kindness and understanding are essential in time of need. What is true friendship is all about. Question number 68. Why are root hairs efficient in uptake of water from the soil? Because they have high surface area to volume ratio. So those are the answer should be D. The efficiency of root hairs in water uptake from the soil is primarily attributed to their high surface area to volume ratio, which allows for increasing absorption of water and nutrient essential for plant growth. Question number 69. What will happen to a plant if apical dominancy is removed from repeated pruning? So the answer should be the side shoot grow quickly and plant become bushy. So that should be perfectly C. When apical dominancy is removed through repeated pruning, side shoot grow quickly and lead to bushier appearance of the plant. This alteration of growth pattern enhances plant overall density and visual appeal of the promoting lateral shoot development. Question number 17. A farmer sowed cotton seed in a farmland which fulfills the optimum condition for germination. After a few days, he observed newly growing seedling. Which of the following statements is correct about farmer observation? The growth of plumule above the soil surface. The answer will be C. The farmer observation would be the growth of plumule above the soil surface. This is because the cotton plant plumule is embryonic shoot that emerges from the seed after germination. While plumule grows above the soil surface, it indicates successful germination and the growth of the seedling. Question number 71. Which of the following property of enzyme shows their catalytic nature? So the answer will be A, reducing activation energy. Enzyme exhibit the catalytic nature primarily through reducing activation energy required for chemical reaction to take place. This property distinguishes enzyme from other biological molecules and highlights their crucial role in facilitating biochemical process efficiently. Question number 72. If an enzyme is named as EC 3.4.11.1 in a systematic naming, what does the number 3 represent? It represents, so that should be D, the main class of an enzyme, which indicates the type of reaction it catalyzes. So that should be D. Enzyme Commission classification system, an enzyme named EC3411.1, the first digit 3 represents main class of enzyme, which indicates the type of reaction it catalyzes. The subsequent digit 4 represents subclass, 11 represents subclass, and the end number 1 represents serial number. Question number 73. In the log and key model of enzymatic action, the activation energy is lowered through, so that should be A, straining of the substrate molecule bound to the active site. So that answer will be perfectly A. In the log and key model of enzymatic action, the activation energy is lowered through straining of the substrate molecules bound to the active site. In a log and key model, substrate molecules are strained when they bind to the active site of the enzyme, which help lower of activation energy required for the reaction. Question number 74. Which of the following minerals are used as cofactor for the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase? So the answer will be D, zinc ions. When we see the minerals that are required for as a cofactor include for carbonic anhydrase is zinc ions, and also alcohol dehydrogenase is zinc ions, which is oxidized alcohols. And also there are other common enzymes that is there with their function, like nicotide, amide, adenine dinucleotide, which is niacin, vitamin, and flavin adenine nucleotide, which is riboflavin, also important in our enzyme as a coenzyme. Question number 75. What mechanism was used by Greek Mendel to protect a garden piece from self-pollination? So the answer will be B, opened flower bud before pollen matured. So the answer will be B perfectly. The mechanism that Greek Mendel developed to prevent self-pollination is by opened the flower bud before pollen matured. This approach involved manually removing immature stems, the male reproductive part, before they could release pollen, thereby preventing self-pollination. Uh, by doing so, Mendel could ensure that he was cross-pollinating different plants with specific traits rather than allowing them to self-pollinate, which would be confound his result. Question number 76. A student made an experiment observed effect of temperature on catalysis of the mashed potato. After 3 parallel trials, he obtained the following result, which is found in table, at which temperature was reaction is fastest. We look at 13 degrees Celsius. The enzyme rate of reaction is 6.6 centimeter cube per second. So the answer will be A, at 30 degrees Celsius. Identifying the temperature which is rate of reaction is highest, B can compare it to the given table. So the highest rate of reaction is 6.6 centimeter cube per second at 30 degrees Celsius. So the answer is perfectly A. Question number 77. Gregory Mendel crossed the two pure breed trait of the pea plant in his experiment, and he found only one of the traits expressed in the first generation. This shows that the expressed trait must be determined by the dominant allele. So the answer will be perfectly D. Gregory Mendel's experiment with a pea plant highlights the role of dominant and recessive alleles in determining trait expressions. In the first generation resulting from this cross, only one of the parental trait is expressed. This expressed trait is determined by dominant allele, while the other trait remains hidden or received alleles, but can appear in later generation. Question number 78. Which of the following statement correctly describe chromosome structure? So the answer will be D. Chromosomes are made up of histone bound to DNA. Chromosomes are made up of histone bound DNA molecules that are organized into condensed structure within the cell nucleus. Chromosomes are also not similar to the gene structure, and they have their own structure. Pair of chromosomes are homozygous. They are not heterozygous in nature. DNA is not wrapped around the ribose sugar to the chromosomes. They are wrapped around the deoxyribose sugar. Question number 79. The breeding mechanism that improves the performance of animals or plants using particular trait is called. So the answer will be A. Selective breeding. Selective breeding is a breeding mechanism that improves performance of animals or plants by focusing on specific traits through deliberate selection of process. It plays a crucial role in agriculture, animal husbandry, and horticulture by shaping desirable characteristics in organs for practical and commercial purpose. Question number 80. Which one of the following birth control method is correctly matched with their function? So the answer should be B. Hormonal method prevent follicle development and evolution. Physical method create barriers to the prevent sperm from the reaching the egg. B. What is correctly written and the choice. Hormonal method prevent follicle development evolution, when surgical method prevent permanent procedure for prevent pregnancy, natural method avoid intercourse during fertile period. So correctly the answer will be B. Question question number 81. Which of the following organic molecules has ester bond in its molecule structure? So the answer will be B. Triglyceride have ester bond in their molecular structure. Let us see. Triglycerides are lipid molecule composed of three fatty acids and linked to glycerol molecules through ester bond, whereas glycogen is a polymer of polysaccharide composed of glucose units linked together by glycosidic bond. Amino acids are linked to building block of proteins that are linked by peptide bond. Cellulose is a polysaccharide made up of glucose unit. They are linked by beta glucosidic bond. So ester bond connected in found intermolecular structure of the triglyceride. Question number 82. Which of the following statement is correct about the structural organization of hemoglobin? It is formed, so that should be A, through association of two or more polypeptide chain. The structural organization of hemoglobin is formed through association of two or more polypeptide chain, means that this arrangement allows for functional integrity of the hemoglobin and underlies the vital role in oxygen transport in biological system. Hemoglobin is a complex protein molecule composed of four globular proteins, subunit each containing heme group responsible for oxygen binding. Question number 83. The presence of large amount of lipid reduce the density of an animal. Which function of the triglyceride is related to these facts? A. Those answers will be A. Bouncy. The function of triglyceride related to the fact of large amount of lipid reduce animal density is bouncy. Triglyceride stored in adipose tissue can increase animal buoyancy in water, making easier for them to float on water. Question number 84. The missing number represented by letter N in the formula of maltose C12HNO11 is. So that should be D22. Maltose is a disaccharide composed of two glucose molecules bonded together. The chemical formula for maltose is carbon 12, hydrogen 22, oxygen 11. This means that carbon can be 12, hydrogen is 22, and oxygen is 11 in each molecule of maltose. Question number 85. A student conducted a food test on 3 unknown food sample and obtained 4 unknown food samples and obtained the result of presented in table below. What did you conclude from the result of above the experiment? So the answer should be D. Reducing sugar found in sample 2 and protein is found in sample 3 perfectly. in all. When we look, when analyze the Benedict reagent for number one, Benedict reagent tested used to reducing sugar. So here only sample one turned red, which is indicates presence of uh, sample food 2 is only reducing sugar. When analyzing number 2 ethanol and water test result is which is works for lipid. All sample are colorless, so indicating no lipid. It must be when we look Burette reagent for number 3, all are shows Mavis color, which is presence of protein in all sample. When analyzing iodine solution, it is indicates a brown color, which means so all sample turned brown, indicate presence of starch in all sample. So that will be reducing sugar are found in sample 2 and proteins are found in all sample of what in given food. Question number 86. According to biological scenario, structure is related to function. Which one of the following is correctly described? So the answer should be C. Nasal passage, large surface area to hair for filtration of the air. When we look there, the other correct answer for all alveoli are small sac, air sac in the lung responsible for gas exchange. Trachea is a tube that is carries air to and from the lung. Nasal passage is a large surface area, which is correctly written as a choice. Larynx is involved in sound production and airway protection. Question number 87. As compared to exhaled air, inhaled air contains, so the answer will be D, 21% of oxygen, 0.04% of carbon dioxide, and 18% or 78% of nitrogen. Those are will be D perfectly. Typically, comparison of inhaled air is approximately 21% of oxygen, 0.04% of carbon dioxide, 78% or approximately 80% of nitrogen, which is exhaled air, which is removed from our body as a metabolic process. 16% of oxygen, 4% of carbon dioxide, and 18% of nitrogen, which is exhaled. So that will be perfectly D, which is inhaled air content. Question number 88. What is the scientific reason behind performance of high altitude area for training by Ethiopian athlete? Because, so the answer will be B, the red blood cells are produced more efficient than those at low altitude. Ethiopian athletes prefer high altitude training primarily because it enhances red blood cell production and oxygen utilization efficiency, ultimately lead to improved endurance and performance. So the answer will be perfectly B. High altitude can lead to enhanced production of red blood cell, which more efficient carrying oxygen, which make improve their endurance and performance. Question number 89. How does oxygen is transported in the human body? So that should be C, from the lung to actively respiring tissue by hemoglobin of red blood cell. Oxygen is primarily transported in the human body through red blood cell with the help of hemoglobin, ensuring efficient delivery of from the lung to the actively respiring tissue. This process allows for proper oxygenation of the cell and support vital physiological functions throughout the body, such as oxygen supply of cellular function and metabolic activity throughout the body. Which of the following statement is we justify? Why left ventricle is tough in nature? Because it is the answer will be B. force oxygenated blood out of the heart. Left ventricle is tough in nature primarily because it forces oxygenated blood out of the heart. This chamber of the heart is responsible for pumping oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body, which make essential for sustaining life. Left ventricle has also thicker muscular walls compared to right ventricle to the withstand high pressure required to push blood throughout the systematic circulation. Question number 91. Which one of the following national park of Ethiopia is declared as World Heritage Site and comprises endemic animals like walia, ibex? So the answer would be Semen Mountain National Park. A. Semen National Park, Mountain National Park in Ethiopia is the national park that has declared as UNESCO World Heritage Site due to outstanding nature of beauty and a unique biodiversity. So it is also known for its dramatic landscape including deep valley, sharp cliffs and also rugged peaks. It has also become various endemic species of flora and fauna, including wild ibex type of wild goats that can only be found in this region. Question number 92. Which of the following plant species is endemic to Ethiopia? So the answer will be D. Gizoita absinica. So when we look them one by one, Arorica paramulita is not endemic to Ethiopia, and also Precia papa is not endemic to Ethiopia. Eucalyptus globulus is also not endemic to Ethiopia, but Gozoria absinica is endemic to Ethiopia. Question number 93. A mother milk her cow every morning and the milk usually forms crude after 3 days. What is the first step of investigating why this change happened? So the answer should be C. Formulate a hypothesis about the reason for milk curdling. The first step to investigate why milk forms crude after 3 days could be formulating hypothesis about the reason for milk curdling. By formulating a hypothesis, you can start the proposing possible explanation or prediction based on the existing knowledge or observation with reading scientific articles and asking relevant questions. This step will guide your subsequent investigation and experiment to test validity of your hypothesis. So the answer will be perfectly C. Question number 94. A drug efficiency test was conducted under similar setup on two group of affected mice. A and B. Group A were controlled, whereas Group B were experimental group. A student gave a placebo to control group and the drug to the experimental group. At the end of experimental group got better. Which one of the following is true about the result? So the answer will be A. The drug has an effect. In this experiment, group A or control group received placebo, while group B, experimental group, received the drug. The experimental group B showed improvement at the end of experiment. The fact that experimental group B showed improvement suggests that the drug had an impact, as it was only differing factor between the two groups. Therefore, the correct answer will be A. Drug has an effect. Question number 95. Suppose you did an experiment in biology laboratory and need to report your work to your biology teacher. Which of the following step is correct to report the finding? So the answer should be C. Title, hypothesis, prediction, procedure, result, conclusion, evaluation, and acknowledgement. Correct sequence of reporting. Your finding typically involves the following steps. The first one is title, hypothesis, prediction, procedure, result, conclusion, evaluation, acknowledgement. I have written with their definition. Just use them and read one by one. Question number 96. Which of the following arrangement of molecules in the fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane is correct? So the answer will be D. Protein molecules are studded or embedded between phospholipid bilayer. For when we examine fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane, so the fluid mosaic model describes the cell membrane as fluid structure where phospholipid forms bilayer and the protein are embedded or extended between or within or attached to this bilayer. So the correct answer should be D. Question number 97. What is the role of cholesterol in cell membrane? So the answer should be it acts as receptor site for hormones and other signal molecules. The role of cholesterol in cell membrane in regulating its fluidity and stability means that cholesterol it increases fluidity of the cell membrane, or it helps to regulate cell membrane fluidity. Cholesterol also it acts as a receptor site for hormones and other signaling molecules, aiding in cell signaling. So the answer should be perfectly C. Question number 98. This item is based on the following table about the function of cellular organelles. Which number in the above table shows the correct function of the given organelles? So the answer will be, the correct one is number 2 and number 3. The answer will be A. When we explore the table above the function of cellular organization, cellular organelles, number 1 is incorrect for Golgi body. Golgi body is not synthesis of protein, but on A, the correct one is ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. So the Golgi body makes number 1 incorrect. Number 2 correctly identifies the Golgi body modified distribute molecules. Number 3 also identify mitochondria as site of aerobic respiration. Number 4 also incorrect one. Question number 99. Potato slide of equal weight were immersed in 4 different concentrations of salt solution. The solution were 1.1, 1.5, 1.0, 0.5 and 0.1 molars. After a day, potato slides were weighted. Which potato slides weighted at the least? So the one from 1.5 molars, so that will be A. When potato slides are placed in higher concentration of salt solution, which is such as 1.5 molars, water will move out of the potato cell through osmosis, causing slides to lose weight. Conversely, potato slides in lower concentration of salt solution, or 0.1 molars, where water will move into the potato cell, leading increasing weight. So the answer should be perfectly, which is least experiment potato slice is 1.5 molars is where we'd weight the least one. Question number 100. Suppose you took a container and divide into 2 halves by membrane which is impermeable to water. Label the 2 halves A and B. Finally, you add hypertonic solution to A and hypotonic solution to B. What will be extended result of this experiment? The water level of the B is decreased. So the answer A is in the rise up, so the answer will be A. The water level of B is decreased when the water level of A is increased. Hypertonic solution means Higher solid concentration means lower water content. Hypotonic solution means lower solid concentration means higher water content. Water will move from area of lower concentration from A hypotonic from B to area concentration to the A. So the water move from B to A means water level of A will increase, the water level will be decreased. So the answer should be perfectly A. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget like, subscribe, share, comment. Ali Science YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share ማድረጉ እንዳትረሱ። like, subscribe gochuudhaan Ali Science ጭና dhaabbadha. If you have any comment or suggestion, please write under comment. I will work for you anytime for better understanding and also for better technological developments in pedagogical teaching and also learning process. If you have any comment or suggestion, please write under comment. Until next time, I will come back with other video or with other tutorial video. Good time for you. Thank you again.